On a perfectly ordinary street in a small town, the Dursleys lived a life of dull predictability. Number 4, Privet Drive, was a house of strict rules and no nonsense. Mr. Dursley, a stern man with a bushy mustache, prided himself on his normalcy, while Mrs. Dursley, thin and sharp-eyed, kept everything in order. Their son, a spoiled and chubby boy, was the center of their world. But one chilly November night, something extraordinary happened. A mysterious figure left a baby on their doorstep, wrapped in a blanket, with a letter that would change everything. Years passed, and the baby grew into a thin, bespectacled boy with messy hair. He lived in the cupboard under the stairs, a space barely large enough for a bed and a few belongings. The Dursleys treated him as an unwanted burden, forcing him to do chores and keeping him hidden from the world. The boy often dreamed of a life beyond the cupboard, where he wasn't ignored or scolded. Strange things seemed to happen around him, things he couldn't explain, but the Dursleys dismissed them as nonsense. On the boy's 11th birthday, letters began arriving, hundreds of them, all addressed to him. The Dursleys tried everything to stop them, burning them, locking them away, but the letters kept coming. They were written in emerald green ink on thick parchment, sealed with a strange crest. The boy's curiosity grew, but the Dursleys refused to let him read even one. Desperate, they fled to a remote island, hoping to escape the relentless delivery. Late that night, a loud knock shook the hut. The door was ripped from its hinges, revealing a towering bearded man with kind eyes and a wild appearance. He introduced himself as the boy's guide to a world he never knew existed, a world of magic. The man handed the boy a slightly squashed birthday cake and explained that he was no ordinary child. The Dursleys cowered in fear, but the boy felt a spark of hope for the first time. The giant explained that the boy was a wizard, famous in the magical world for surviving an attack by a dark and powerful force as a baby. He showed the boy the letter, which was an invitation to a school for witchcraft and wizardry. The boy's mind raced with questions, but one thing was clear: his life was about to change forever. The Dursleys protested, but the giant silenced them with a stern look. For the first time, the boy felt a sense of belonging. A storm rages outside as a young boy with glasses and a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead sits in a small, damp hut. His oversized clothes hang loosely on his thin frame, and his expression is a mix of fear and curiosity. The air is thick with tension as the boy's cruel relatives huddle together, whispering about strange occurrences. Suddenly, a loud knock shakes the door, and the boy's heart races. The door bursts open, revealing a towering figure with a wild beard and a kind, twinkling gaze. The boy feels a strange sense of relief, as if he's meeting someone who holds the key to a world he's always dreamed of. The boy and the giant man sit by a crackling fire in the hut. The man pulls out strange objects from his coat: a tin kettle, sausages, and a peculiar cake with green icing. As they eat, the man begins to unravel the truth about the boy's past. He speaks of a hidden world filled with magic, where the boy is celebrated as a hero. The boy's eyes widen with wonder as he learns about his parents, their bravery, and the dark force they fought against. For the first time, he feels a spark of hope and belonging. The next morning, the boy and the giant man arrive in a bustling hidden street, filled with shops that seem to defy logic. The boy's eyes dart from one wonder to another: shimmering robes, cauldrons of all sizes, and owls perched in cages. The man guides him through the crowd, stopping at a grand marble building where they exchange gold coins for a heavy pouch. The boy feels a thrill as he realizes this is just the beginning of his journey into the magical world. In a narrow, dusty shop filled with shelves of wands, the boy meets an elderly man with piercing eyes. The man measures the boy and begins testing wands, each one causing strange reactions. Finally, a wand emits a warm, golden glow, and the boy feels a surge of energy. The elderly man smiles knowingly, declaring that this wand is a perfect match. The boy clutches it tightly, feeling a newfound sense of power and destiny. As the day ends, the boy and the giant man sit on a bench, watching the sun set over the magical street. The boy's heart is full of excitement and anticipation. He clutches his new wand and a snowy owl in a cage, gifts from his new friend. For the first time, he feels like he belongs somewhere. The giant man pats his shoulder, promising that this is just the start of an incredible adventure. The boy smiles, ready to embrace the magic that awaits him. A young boy with messy hair and round glasses stands nervously at a bustling train station, clutching a trolley laden with an odd assortment of luggage. His wide eyes dart around, searching for something he cannot quite understand. A kind-hearted family with flaming red hair passes by, and their youngest son, a freckled boy with a mischievous grin, notices his confusion. With a warm smile, the mother explains the secret to entering the hidden platform. The boy takes a deep breath, pushes his trolley forward, and vanishes through a solid wall, stepping into a world of wonder. The boy steps onto a magnificent scarlet steam train, its compartments filled with chattering students and the occasional owl hoot. He finds an empty compartment and settles in, only to be joined by the freckled boy from the station. They introduce themselves, sharing stories and laughter. A girl with bushy hair and a confident demeanor enters, looking for a lost pet. The three quickly bond over sweets and tales of the magical world, their excitement growing as the train chugs through rolling hills and misty valleys. The trio is interrupted by a trolley laden with magical treats. The boy with glasses buys a handful, including a chocolate frog that leaps out of its box, causing a burst of laughter. The girl explains the history behind the famous wizard cards included in the treats, and the boys marvel at the moving portraits. The freckled boy shares a story about his family, and the girl impresses them with her vast knowledge of the magical world. The compartment feels warm and alive with friendship and curiosity. As the train slows, the trio peers out the window to see a quaint village bathed in the golden light of sunset. The station is alive with activity as students disembark, greeted by a towering man with a wild beard and a lantern. The children feel a mix of excitement and nervousness as they prepare to leave the train. The boy with glasses looks around, taking in the magical atmosphere, while the girl reassures them with her confidence. They step onto the platform, ready for the next step of their journey. The first-year students are led to a fleet of small boats, each glowing softly in the twilight. The boy with glasses, the freckled boy, and the girl share a boat, their eyes wide as they glide across a dark, glassy lake. Ahead, a towering castle comes into view, its windows twinkling like stars. The castle seems to rise out of the mist, its spires reaching toward the sky. The children gasp in unison, their hearts pounding with the promise of adventure and magic that awaits them.